First of all, with comedy, you're always going to have somebody who won't like it. Just people, I've learned from doing stand-up comedy, there will always be somebody in the room who's offended at what you say, even if it's, and I perform for a lot of professional audiences, a lot of church audiences, so it's clean. All my material's clean, and I think it's inoffensive, but you will find people who just are offended at something. They read it in a way that's not construed, and that's a risk you can take.
So I've had each member of my sales team read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It's a book about war.
There were definitely some challenges to doing this comedy video at IBM. I mean, there were a lot of challenges to doing it. First, I think people just naturally have a tendency to be nervous about comedy because a lot of people have a negative connotation with comedy. They think it has to be something that's critical or making fun of somebody else or profanity, and that's not the case at all. That's a small part of comedy, but a big part in the comedy clubs. This is not what we were doing. The idea was to really use wit, which is an important part of IBM's brand anyway, to the series. And that's probably the biggest challenge, is people are just uncomfortable. But I think what's very important is we started off with a few videos before that by just launching these internally. We reduced the risk of this project by saying, look, first of all, I'm gonna, here, look at the script, let me know what you think, let's go shoot this. And then you get to, you tell the executive, you view it, you make the decision whether we even show this to a larger group. And then you kind of slowly expose people to it and get feedback. So you can show it to a smaller group and then release it on the intranet internally. And then, if people aren't offended by it and you think it works, then the next step is to put it up externally, like on a video site like YouTube, and see what happens. And we thought we sweated about this. We thought, what could be the downside? You have to consider the worst case scenario. Sometimes you guess what it might be, and sometimes you can be surprised. But we did consider all, the worst case scenario. Well, one thing that one of the executives said is, what if our competitors was putting something up to kind of slander IBM and to show us being idiots? It would look just like what we did. So from that, we said, let's make sure we get credit for this, and let's make sure people don't think our competitors doing it. And so because of that, we added our URL at the end, just to make sure. That's the only place the company's name appears.